The lights of Downton Abbey shine brighter than ever tonight. From miles away, the great house glows like a golden jewel resting on the English hills. But behind those tall windows, not everything sparkles as it should. Because in a house filled with secrets, even a night of laughter can turn into a memory no one dares to speak of again. Tonight, the Crawleys are opening their doors to the world, and the world is about to change forever. The sun sinks slowly behind the trees, painting the sky with soft pink and gold. Inside Downton Abbey, the sound of footsteps echoes through the halls. Maids rush by carrying polished silver trays, while the air smells of freshly baked pastries and roses from the garden. Carson stands in the grand hall, his eyes sharp as he inspects every corner. "Perfection," he murmurs, straightening a vase just slightly. Nothing less will do when the Crawleys are hosting a party of the scale. Lady Mary descends the staircase, her gown flowing like silk water, her expression calm but her thoughts restless. In her gloved hand, she hides a small letter sealed in red wax. It arrived that morning, no sender's name, just a simple line inside. Tonight, everything changes. She hasn't told a soul. Her eyes meet her father's as she reaches the bottom step, but neither speaks of the worry both are carrying. Lord Grantham walks through the dining hall, admiring the table that gleams with candlelight. "Carson," he says quietly, "I want this evening to remind everyone that Downton still stands proud." His voice carries both pride and strain. The world outside is changing fast, new money, new rules, but inside these walls, tradition still holds its breath. In another part of the house, Lady Edith stands before her mirror, smoothing the fabric of her gown. Her reflection seems unsure. The argument with Mary earlier still stings old rivalries that never quite fade. Why do I even come to these things? She whispers, half to herself, half to the silent room. Yet she knows she will go. Because at Downton, duty always wins over desire. Downstairs, the servants are a flurry of motion. Mrs. Hughes gives quiet orders while the kitchen hums with the sound of pans, laughter, and a hint of panic. Daisy carefully arranges the last of the desserts, her hands trembling slightly. It's just another dinner, she tells herself, though she knows this one feels different. Even the air feels charged, as if the walls themselves are waiting for something to happen. As the clock strikes 8, the first carriage arrives. Wheels crunch over gravel and the soft notes of a string quartet drift from the ballroom. Guests step out, wrapped in fur and pearls, their laughter carried away by the cold night breeze. From the grand staircase, Lady Cora watches, her smile perfect but distant. The chandeliers glow, the guests toast, and the Crawleys play their parts. But upstairs, a single envelope rests on Mary's dresser, its seal broken. Its words already echoing in her mind. Tonight, everything changes. The grand clock in the main hall ticks louder than usual, as if the walls of Downton Abbey themselves can sense what's coming. Upstairs, the house is alive with motion lace being fastened, jewels being clasped, and secrets being tucked away behind polite smiles. The Crawleys are masters of composure, but tonight that composure feels fragile, like crystal trembling on the edge of a fall. Lady Mary stands before her mirror, the golden light catching her face. The letter lies open on her vanity now, its words burned into her thoughts. A truth long hidden must be revealed. She's tried to dismiss it, to convince herself it's nonsense, but something inside tells her it's real. She glances at her reflection, her expression calm, her eyes uncertain. "Not tonight," she whispers, pressing the paper flat with her gloved hand. Not when everything must appear perfect. Down the corridor, Lady Edith adjusts her necklace with trembling fingers. The soft melody from the ballroom drifts up the staircase, a waltz played for people who live untouched by struggle. She takes a deep breath and forces a smile. Tonight, she has promised herself she won't compete with Mary. She'll simply exist gracefully and quietly. But deep down, she knows that at Downton, even silence can make a statement. In his study, Lord Grantham pours a small glass of brandy. His reflection in the window looks older than he remembers. The estate has seen better days, And the whispers of changed modern ideas, new wealth echo louder every year. This party isn't just about celebration. It's about proving that the Crawleys still matter, that their world isn't fading. But as he lifts the glass to his lips, he can't shake the feeling that no amount of tradition can stop time's march. Meanwhile, downstairs hums with a different rhythm. The servants move in a dance of their own, one rehearsed over years of devotion. Carson inspects the silver one last time, his pride steady, though even he feels the pressure. A house is judged by its order, he mutters, straightening a row of wine glasses. Mrs. Hughes glances up from the seating chart, reading his expression. "It's not just a house, Mr. Carson," she says softly. "It's a family holding its breath." In the kitchen, Daisy and Mrs. Patmore rush to plate the final courses. Steam fogs the windows and the scent of roasted meat and herbs fills the air. "Imagine what it's like up there," Daisy says, glancing toward the ceiling as if she could see through it. "All that light and music," Mrs. Patmore chuckles. "Don't let it fool you, love. Upstairs looks golden, but it's got its cracks same as everywhere else." In the servants' corridor, Thomas Barrow stands alone, straightening his cuffs. His smile is small and knowing. He's noticed things others haven't, the way Lady Mary flinched when the post arrived, the hushed words between Lord Grantham and his wife. Secrets, he murmurs to himself, always find a way out. By the time the orchestra begins to play in full, everything is in place. The candles flicker, the tables gleam, and the Crawleys prepare to welcome their guest with open arms and guarded hearts. But beneath the surface, each of them hides something they dare not speak aloud. Because at Downton Abbey, appearances are everything. And tonight, every polished floor and perfect smile will be tested by what's waiting in the shadows. Asterisk the night. Air outside Downton Abbey feels alive, humming with engines, laughter, and the clatter of carriage wheels on gravel. The great iron gates swing open again and again, welcoming guests from all corners of England. The Abbey stands tall against the velvet sky, its windows glowing like 1,000 golden eyes. Inside, anticipation coils like a secret elegant, unseen but impossible to ignore. The first guests step into the great hall, their footsteps soft on polished marble. Jewels sparkle, laughter ripples, and the scent of perfume mingles with candle smoke. Lady Cora greets each visitor with warmth that only half hides her fatigue. "So wonderful to see you," she says again and again, her voice practiced but kind. Her eyes flick now and then toward her husband, silently checking that all is well. For the Crawleys, presentation is survival. Lady Mary glides through the room, her every movement measured and graceful. She smiles, she nods, she says all the right things, but her mind is far away, circling the letter's warning. Across the room, she spots a man she doesn't recognize. Tall, refined, with a calm confidence that seems almost deliberate. "From London?" someone whispers. "An associate of Lord Grantham's new investor." Mary's stomach tightens. Something about him feels off, not wrong, but significant. As he bows to her, their eyes meet, and for a moment, the noise of the party fades into silence. Lady Edith enters moments later, her golden gown catching the candlelight. Guests turn, surprised by her poise. For once, she looks entirely self-assured. "Lady Edith," calls a familiar voice her editor from the magazine she runs in London. They exchange polite greetings, but she senses hesitation. Rumors travel fast, and tonight they seem to travel even faster. Somewhere in the crowd, someone mentions her name followed by a whisper. She doesn't turn, but her expression hardens. The past has a way of walking through the same doors as the future. Meanwhile, Lord Grantham moves between groups of dignified men, discussing politics and land. He laughs when he must, but each conversation feels like a transaction, each smile a negotiation for the Crawley legacy. Across the hall, Lady Violet, the Dowager Countess, sits like a queen observing her kingdom. "They all think they're here for the music," she says under her breath to Isabel. "But what they truly love is the spectacle of pretending their world hasn't already changed." Downstairs, the servants work in a careful rhythm to keep the illusion alive. Silver platters glide through the air, Wine glasses refilled before. They empty and every whisper of complaint is smoothed away before it reaches a guest's ear. Yet, even among them, the energy feels strange tonight. Daisy pauses at the kitchen door, peeking at the crowd. "It looks like a dream," she says. Mrs. Hughes, standing beside her, answers quietly, "Dreams are only perfect until someone wakes up." Back in the ballroom, the music swells. The London guest, Mr. Sinclair, approaches Lady Mary again, offering his hand for the first dance. Her hesitation lasts a heartbeat before she accepts. Around them, couples twirl beneath the chandeliers, the air shimmering with motion and color. But as the dance unfolds, a quiet unease stirs. Mr. Sinclair leans close, his voice low. "You've received my letter, I trust?" Mary's breath catches. The words cut through the music like a blade. The music fades into a softer tune, but the air inside Downton Abbey feels heavier, now thicker, with unspoken tension. The chandeliers glimmer like frozen stars, their light falling on smiles that no longer feel sincere. Conversations hush. Glances linger, and laughter sounds just a little too forced. Something has shifted. Something unseen but deeply felt. Lady Mary excuses herself from the dance floor, her gloved hand trembling ever so slightly. Mr. Sinclair's words echo in her. "Mind, you've received my letter." How could he know, and what did he mean by our truth? She steps into the long corridor lined with portraits, faces of generations past, staring down as if watching her every move. The walls feel closer here, the silence sharper. She clutches the letter still hidden in her gown and whispers to herself, "Who are you really, Mr. Sinclair?" In the drawing room, Lady Cora entertains a cluster of guests, her smile radiant but her eyes searching for her daughter. She senses Mary's unease, though she doesn't know why. Lord Grantham joins her side, lowering his voice. "He's from London, connected to the investors I mentioned," he says, "but there's more to him than he lets on." Cora nods subtly, masking her concern. "At Downton," she says quietly, "there's always more than meets the eye." Downstairs, Thomas Barrow leans against the corridor wall, listening to the faint echoes of the ballroom. He's noticed Mary slipping away, noticed Sinclair's smirk, and now he's curious. He's always been curious. He follows, keeping to the shadows, his footsteps silent. If there's a secret in this house tonight, he intends to uncover it. First dot in the library, Mary stands alone beside the roaring fire. The flickering flames dance across her face as she unfolds the letter once more. The handwriting is unmistakable, it's Sinclair's, but the words are stranger this time. What was hidden will be spoken. What you think you know will burn. Her heartbeat quickens. "Burn?" she repeats softly when a sound interrupts. Her a door creaking, a voice behind her. "You were never meant to read it alone." She turns sharply. Mr. Sinclair stands in the doorway, calm, composed, as if he's been waiting for this moment. "You knew my father," Mary says. Her tone steady but guarded. He steps closer. "Knew him?" he repeats with a faint smile. "Your father's business once cost mine everything. Tonight, Lady Mary, I've only come to collect what's owed." Upstairs, unaware of the confrontation, Lady Edith stands on the balcony overlooking the ballroom. She watches the dancers, lost in thought, when she spots smoke rising faintly near the far corridor. "Is something burning?" she murmurs. Carson, already noticing the scent, rushes to the doorway, his calm cracking. No, that can't be." In the library, Mary's candle has fallen, the letter's corner catching flame. Sinclair steps forward, eyes fixed on her. "The truth, Mary, is that the Crawleys' wealth was built on broken promises." She shakes her head, refusing to believe. But the fire climbs higher, the letter turning to ash before her eyes. "You don't understand," she says fiercely. "Whatever my father did, Downton stands on honor." "Honor," he replies, his voice low, "is just another mask." The fire snaps, and for a brief, blinding second, the room fills with smoke. Mary grabs the last fragment of the burning letter, crushing it in her fist before it disappears completely. Footsteps echo down the corridor. Thomas bursts in, grabbing a heavy cloth to smother the flames. The room fills with chaos, shouts, and the scent of smoke mingling with perfume. When it's finally over, the damage is small, but the silence that follows is worse than fire. Sinclair is gone. The letter is gone, and in its place only questions. The ballroom glows like a dream painted in gold. Music floats through the air, graceful, effortless, enchanting. But beneath the rhythm of violins lies something else. An unease that no one dares name. The guests move in perfect circles, gowns swirling, champagne glasses raised high. From the outside, Downton Abbey seems untouched, unshaken. Yet inside, every note of music sounds like the ticking of a clock counting down to something inevitable. Lady. Mary returns to the ballroom, her face calm but her heart in turmoil. No one notices the faint smell of smoke clinging to her gown, or the shadow in her eyes. She steps back into the dance, her movements flawless, her secrets carefully hidden beneath the silk and sparkle. Across the room, Lord Grantham watches her closely, sensing something has shifted. He feels the weight of years pressing down on him, family, legacy, lies. And for the first time, he wonders if the Crawleys' walls can really keep the past. From seeping through, Lady Edith stands by the piano, her fingers tracing its polished edge. She can feel the tension in the air, sharp and electric. Then the doors open. A voice carries across the hall, firm, unfamiliar, cutting through the music. "My apologies for the interruption," says Mr. Sinclair, stepping forward. "But it seems Lord Grantham. There's a matter the entire house should hear." The music halts. The crowd freezes. Heads turn. The only sound now is the crackle of the fireplace and the rustle of gowns as people shift uneasily. Lady Cora rises slowly, her expression composed but pale. "Mr. Sinclair," she says carefully. "Perhaps this could wait until..." But he interrupts her, his tone cold. "Until when? Another generation?" He turns to the guests, holding up a small piece of half-burned parchment, the last fragment of Mary's letter. Gasps ripple through the room. "This," he declares, "is proof that your fortune was born not from noble deeds, but deceit." Lord Grantham steps forward, fury and disbelief mixing in his voice. "You come into my home uninvited to throw around slander?" But even as he speaks, he knows something about the man's words carries truth. The Crawleys have weathered rumors before, but this one feels different, personal, real. Lady Mary's breath catches. She takes a step forward, her voice trembling yet steady. "Whatever your quarrel is, Mr. Sinclair, it ends here. You've made your point." Her eyes, fierce now, lock on his. "But you'll find Downton doesn't crumble so easily." Sinclair smiles faintly. "No," he says. "It burns slowly." And then, as if on cue, a loud crash breaks the silence. A tray falls. A candle topples. A single spark leaps from the tablecloth to the curtain. The fire spreads fast, too fast. Panic erupts. Guests scream, servants rush to action, and the orchestra scatters. Carson and Mrs. Hughes shout orders, trying to lead everyone towards safety. The Crawleys stand frozen for a moment, caught between disbelief and fear. Lady Edith grabs her mother's hand, pulling her back from the growing flames. "Mother, we have to go," she cries. But Cora's eyes are fixed on the family portrait above the mantel, the Crawleys of generations past. Watching silently as their descendants flee Dot in the chaos, Thomas bursts through the smoke, directing. "Guests to the exit." Daisy coughs as she helps an elderly woman to safety. The grand ballroom, once the heart of the Abbey, now blazes with orange light and falling ash. Mary stands at the edge of the fire, her gown torn, her face streaked with smoke. "We can save it," she says to her father. But Lord Grantham shakes, his head, his voice breaking. "No, my dear, not this time." For a moment, everything slows, the flicker of firelight, The sound of glass shattering, the faint echo of a violin string breaking in the distance. The Crawleys stand together at the doorway, their world burning behind them. Outside, the cold night swallows the noise. Flames rise, lighting the dark fields around the abbey. Guests huddle in silence, their finery turned to soot and fear. "Lady!" Mary looks back one last time, her eyes reflecting the fire. "Downton has faced wars and loss," she whispers, "but this feels like the end." Yet even as the fire consumes the ballroom, there's a strange beauty in the chaos, a reminder that nothing, not even Downton, can escape change forever. Dawn breaks slowly over the estate, its pale light spilling across the fields that once shimmered with celebration. Downton Abbey stands quiet now, its great halls cloaked in smoke, its chandeliers dimmed to gray. The scent of ashes lingers in the morning air, heavy and bitter. What was once the grandest party the Crawleys had ever hosted has ended in silence. In ruin and in truths that can no longer be ignored, Lady Mary stands at the front steps, her gown torn, her hair undone, her eyes hollow from sleeplessness. Around her, servants move like shadows, sweeping glass, gathering what little survived. The once glittering ballroom is blackened and broken. The portraits of her ancestors are coated in soot, their proud faces half erased by smoke. She takes a slow breath and whispers, "Even stone remembers fire." Lord Grantham emerges from the rubble of the East Corridor, his face lined with exhaustion. "It could have been worse," he says quietly, though his voice carries no comfort. No one was hurt. That's what matters. But his gaze drifts upward toward the damaged ceiling, and something in his eyes, he knows the truth. This isn't just the loss of a room. It's the loss of certainty, of pride, of the illusion that Downton could last forever unchanged. Lady Cora moves softly beside him, her hand finding his. "It was always going to happen," she murmurs. "Maybe not this way, but something was bound to break." Her voice trembles, but it carries a strange peace. Perhaps now we see what remains when the fire's gone. In the servants' hall, exhaustion has replaced panic. Mrs. Hughes pours tea for the weary staff, her hands steady despite the chaos. "We'll clean it," she says firmly. "We'll make it right again." Carson, seated across from her, shakes his head, his usual strength faltering. "There's no polishing away what's been lost," he says. The sun has fully risen over the Yorkshire hills, its golden light spilling across the valley like a quiet promise. From a distance, Downton Abbey still stands, its towers proud, its windows scarred but unbroken. Smoke curls lazily from the remnants of the fire, rising into the pale morning sky as if the house itself is exhaling after a long, sleepless night. Time feels slower now. The laughter, the music, the glittering illusions of last night are gone, only echoes remain. Yet in their place, something deeper stirs. A stillness, a strength. The kind that only comes after everything beautiful has been tested by flame. Inside, the Crawleys move through the silent halls like ghosts rediscovering their home. The floorboards creak beneath their feet, and sunlight filters through cracked glass, painting soft patterns of gold and ash. Lady Mary pauses at the foot of the grand staircase. Her eyes trace the blackened edges of the banister, but she doesn't flinch. Instead, she smiles faintly. "Downton isn't just a house," she says quietly, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's who we are when everything else falls away." Lord Grantham stands beside her, his posture heavy with memory, yet steady with pride. "Your grandmother used to say," he murmurs, "that the world changes whether we wish it to or not. But as long as we remember who we are, we endure." His gaze softens as he looks toward his family gathered in the morning light chorus. Calm strength, Edith's quiet resolve, and Mary's fire burning brighter than ever. Downstairs, the servants begin to rebuild the rhythm of life. Mrs. Hughes and Carson oversee repairs with the same devotion they've always shown. Daisy hums softly as she polishes a rescued silver tray, the sound fragile but hopeful. Even Thomas, standing by the servants' entrance, looks out toward the horizon with something that almost, resembles peace. The camera drifts slowly through the corridors past the charred ballroom, now bathed in morning glow, past the dining hall where light falls on empty chairs, and finally to the window overlooking the gardens, where new buds are pushing through the soil despite the smoke and ruin. The narrator's voice returns, calm and reflective. At Downton Abbey, life moves like the seasons, graceful, relentless, eternal. Fire may take the walls, time may steal the faces, but the spirit of this house endures. Through joy and sorrow, through endings and beginnings, Downton remains what it has always been, a home built on love, pride, and the courage to start again. As the music swells, the camera pulls back farther, revealing the full grandeur of the Abbey, standing strong against the sky. The light catches on its highest windows, turning them to gold once more. Birds circle above the towers, their wings glinting in the sun. Lady Mary steps out onto the terrace, the morning breeze lifting her hair. She looks toward the horizon, her expression calm, sure, and unafraid. "Let it change," she whispers. "We'll change with it." And with that, the screen fades slowly to white, the faint sound of the Abbey's bells echoing through the countryside. Because at Downton Abbey, endings are never truly endings. They are simply the beginning of another chapter written in fire, rebuilt with grace, and remembered forever.